What's up, everybody? Let's talk about why you're weak, why you're not progressing in the gym, and why your outlook on life at this moment might be very grim. So look, there's probably three main reasons why you're not progressing in the gym, why you're feeling weak, and I guarantee it's not because of a vegan diet itself. Reason number one, you're not eating enough. Now, we're not going to talk about that today because I've already written a whole book on that subject and I recommend you check it out. Number two, you're just not training consistently enough, and you're going to have to be real with yourself about that. Number three, and this is the real one we're going to talk about today, your training probably lacks periodization. I mean, you might just be doing CrossFit, but kind of the same thing. Periodization, what's that? Periodization is an approach to training. It's about building in recovery time. It's about variations of reps, sets, intensity, volume, all funneling you towards a goal of becoming stronger. It might be better to understand this if we talk about what periodization is not. Periodization is not trying to test a 1 rep max every week. It's not trying to go as heavy as you can go all the time. It's also not staying stagnant with a rep scheme of 15 reps for 4 sets, 12 reps for 6 sets, whatever. In periodization, it's kind of like a pyramid. You're going to decrease volume as you increase intensity. So you're going to drive progressive overload as you wean yourself off of hypertrophy. And not only that, you're going to need recovery days built in. So sometimes you're going to have a heavy day. The next day is kind of like a mobility recovery workout where you go much lighter with some of the same movements or assistance movements. Now maybe this is sounding a little confusing already, so let me condense it for you, make it simple. If you try to test your 1 rep max every week or even every month, that's a fail. If you're just doing the same reps every week, same exercises, that's a fail. Not only that, if you're not building in recovery days around your heavy days to help you get your mobility back and elongate those sore muscles, that's going to be a major fail. There has to be an ebb and flow of volume and intensity as you overall build your intensity towards a new 1 rep max over the course of 5, 6, even maybe 8 or 9 weeks. If you're going past 5 weeks, you always need to build in at least 1 deload week along the way. You're going to need it. And to help you put this in better perspective, let's think of it metaphorically. Think of it in terms of mating. Your initial phase in a program that employs periodization is going to be a hypertrophy, high rep phase. In a powerlifting program, it's going to often be 6 to 8 reps for maybe 2 weeks. And in this phase, it's like foreplay. You're kind of learning the boundaries. You're paying attention to the sensations in your body. You're seeing what kind of feedback your body gives you. You're learning through repetition what works and what doesn't. You're perfecting your skills based on feedback that your body's giving you. You're increasing connection with yourself, of course. And it's in this phase that you're going to build a foundation for what's to come. All that hypertrophy and that muscle growth is going to give you leverage for your max lifts later on. You can't climax just yet. You got to condition yourself to get through this. The next phase in a program that employs periodization properly is going to be the heavyweight acclimation phase. This is when you're going to get more into sets of 4 to 5 reps, maybe 4 to 5 sets of them for another couple weeks. And the point of this is to acclimate you to heavier weight. And as you decrease the reps, you're able to handle more weight. Now this is like, in terms of mating, this is the real grinding work. This is the act itself, the diabolical act. This is where it counts. This is where you learn if you've got good dick or not. And I tell you, sometimes you're going to be grinding so hard in this phase, you don't know if you're going to get through it. But I promise you, all this hard work and grinding in the acclimation phase, it's not for nothing. The reward is coming soon. At the end of a powerlifting program, you need a phase that we call peaking. This is the max weight phase. You might take a week of trying heavy triples on your top working sets, and then you're going to taper off that volume for another week, week and a half, and then you're going to go big, and you're going to climax. I tell you, it's a real mindfuck though. All those weeks, perhaps months of hard work for that final day, that final moment when you climax. It's a sweet, sweet feeling when you hit a new PR, but in an instant, it's over, just like that. And then, post-maxal sadness. And then guess what? You take a week off, and you start the whole thing all over again. Yay. See, what my point here about periodization is, training is not the same every week, it's not the same every month. You have to employ a strategy that gets you from A to B to C to D. It's not an A to B process. It requires a lot of strategy, and the longer you lift, the longer you live a lifting lifestyle, the more complicated it's going to get, because you could start out with beginner programs like Mad Cow 5x5 or Strong Lift 5x5. Then over time, maybe after 2 or 3 times of running those, they're not going to work anymore. So you got to graduate to an intermediate program, something like Texas Meathead or Johnny Candido's intermediate program. And then over time, those aren't going to work either, and you're going to find ways to build nuance into your program and start to auto-regulate for yourself. Maybe employing a little bit of that undulating periodization that the conjugate West Side method employs. Of course, if you're a raw lifter, it's going to take a lot of alterations. And that's what I'm here for. A resource for my fellow vegans to get stronger. You know, we're told the diet is going to hold us back. That's not true. If you believe that, you should read my book and see my results. I've lived my methods. Now, 2, people think, oh, I'm just a hard gainer. Well, that might be true. For 1, you got to eat right. But 2, you got to train consistently. And then 3, you got to have the right strategy for your training. There are a lot of factors here that can hold you back or help you accelerate your progress. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. Have you tried any programs? Have they worked? Have they not worked? What kind of roadblocks have you run into? We'll be here most weeks of the year from now on talking about training tips to help you get on the road to gains. The information's all out there and we'll get to all of it. Remember, if you're failing, it's your own fucking fault.